So, sup, you chuckle fucks? It's your boy Dark Riker here with the What If Issei was a vessel to the elite Sternritters, Part 6. Part 6. Yeah, Part 6 of this What If. Other than that, let me begin. This is What If. Let me shut the fuck up and let me begin. So, we begin back into, mostly Linda versus, Issei. And this is where, Issei is right now glaring at the heiress of mostly the Astrofrog clan, while mostly the Astrofrog clan, she's not entirely the heiress, but she is a niece towards mostly, Ajuka, but of course, mostly not the point. This is where, she's glaring back at Issei. Both of them having a glaring contest. Of course, this is where, she uses her greenish magic, it's not greenish, it is greenish, but at the same time kind of bluish magic circle to right now launch a kind of attack straight towards Issei. Issei blocks it in an instant with a sword strike. He did let go of the pressure just to see how talented she would be. This is where, he just wanted to know how talented is this heiress, because clearly she's not an heiress, but truly he wants to just know why she's here. This is where, mostly she managed to kind of get out of the pressure of the Ryasu, and this is where, she was getting angry. She said, "Don't look down on me." This is where, she then sent a very powerful magic blast of this kind of bluish flames straight towards Issei. Issei noticed these blue flames, but he just smacked it away by his hand. This is where, he says, "Is that all you can do?" This is where, she glares at Issei. Of course, she only has like 2 Parage members, but not the point. Or not 2, she has about like 4 Parage members. One guy that just got knocked out by, the ghostly figure. And of course, the others are still kind of, in this time encapsulated. But yeah, mostly they got frozen and knocked out. But yeah, this is where, Linda actually realizes this and turns around and says, "Damn it." This is where, she turns around to see Issei, and Issei says, "You done or something?" Issei kind of like walks up to her. This is where, she says, "I'm not done. I'm never done." This is where, Issei says, "Yes, you are. You are done. Completely. You lost. Now, Devil Heiress, you either leave my territory alone, or you die in it. Doesn't matter." This is where, mostly, not, wait, let me actually say, not Linda, Latia. Latia is right now just like looking at him and decides to fall down to the ground and says, "Fine, I am." But before anything happens, a grayish magic circle almost smashes into Issei, which Issei managed to block. This is where, Issei says, "Who the hell are you?" This is where, Latia looks up and says, She says, Urikia-san, or yeah, Urikia-san. Basically, she's from the Glacial family, something like that. But this is where, she's another heiress. This is where, she has mostly one silver eye in her right eye, while in her left eye is red. This is where her hair is silver, and this is where, she looks to be wearing a dress. And that's where she says, "Who the hell are you?" "Oh god, not another heiress. This is such a pain." Issei says, this is where, mostly Litia and even, mostly Irikia right now kind of appear right next to, Litia. Litia kind of says, why are you here?" Irikia says, "I heard about you kind of going to this territory. Again? Isn't this territory supposed to be unknown? Not many devils like to be going here." "I have heard of other princesses from different, races, different race kind of coming here, but just to get away from their families. Entirely, this place is natural, not that bad of a territory to be at. I have heard from other princesses from different, race, like the vampire princess, the werewolf princess, not the werewolf princess, but the vampire princess, and like other kind of princess from different, race kind of just appearing here, then going back home after kind of everything cools down. It's just a neutral place for anything, except for devils." And they realized one thing. When they were kind of putting down the territories and everything, this place is not neutral for devils. It's actually a very hot spot for getting devils killed, especially heirs. Because, the person who rules this place, this is where she knows her eyes at Issei, has been killing them. For no reason. There's some reason, but it's not fully concluded. The elders have been keeping that secret. Issei says, "So what are 2 heiresses from the devil, the devil of the 72 families, or pillars, or whatever, are doing here in my territory?" This is where Arika right now turns around to see Issei, and this is where Issei narrows his eyes towards her. This is where, well, mostly the chromo states, oh, well, Jukin is right now still just like having his eyes closed and right now watching this. This is where, well, right now he can actually stop both of them instantly, but he knows that his lore will not like that. So of course he's just waiting. This is where, well, right now we go into, well, also kind of Junko being there. This is where Junko has kind of followed along Issei just to make sure that nothing bad happened. But this is where, well, Erukia kind of just says, I don't really want to fight. Issei says, oh, you're the actually calmer version of that girl. Now, entirely, I really do not understand why she even came over here to fight you exactly. Clearly, we only came here to actually, well, stay in this territory. Our families has been quite annoying and other stuff, but yeah. This is where, well, families. Oh, you're having family problem. I mean, I can allow you to stay in this territory if you have family problem. This is where Arukia kind of says, I see. Thank you again. Well, I haven't actually said you can stay here. I just said I will allow you. But truly, you will still need to do paperwork and other stuff. Which that means, hey Jukin. No, Jukin says, no, I'm not doing your paperwork. He says, come on, I hate paperwork so much. I'm already dealing with other people's bullcrap. Especially since the early kind of event of mostly both Basil and Dobby little fight. I had to do a fucking, well, situation assessment. What the hell happened? Jukin says, I already kind of did the situation examined, but that's not the point. I'm not doing the paperwork. Nope, don't care. I'm already wasting so much resources to keep those guys in a very chromo state, kind of frozen, so they won't move. This is where, well, Issei says, just let go of them. This is where, well, Jukin says, are you sure? Yes, just do it. This is where all of them falls down. This is where, well, they're still knocked out because, yeah, they got knocked out. This is where, well, they were kind of sleeping, but not the point. Mostly, he put them in a chroma state where it basically frees them, but at the same time makes them fall asleep. But yeah, not permanently because he can actually do that, but not the point. This is where, well, we go into mostly a time skip of mostly Issei talking to Linta and also Aruka and, well, Arukin. Aruka. This is where, well, or Aruki? I don't remember. But this is where, well, basically just talking to them about mostly how this territory is going to work. They're basically underneath the Quincy rule. Basically, they can come to the school, blah, 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 learn about the education. This is where Issei explains about how this education works in the school. Pretty much, you can take all 4 classes. Basically, it takes only 4 hours. You can either go home, stay in your clubs, or whatever club you're going to make together or separate, doesn't matter. It also kind of, you can take those other kind of like special, well not special, mostly those other kind of core, or, yeah, the core classes, or not core classes, the, what was it fucking called? The other classes, mostly like gym, singing, whatever bullcrap. Those 3 other classes, if you want to or not, doesn't really fucking matter. Pretty much, the teachers do get paid, whatever, doesn't really fucking matter. This is where, well, he explains that basically the system is based on being updated every couple of, like, mostly weekly updated, kind of showing what's happening in the world and other things. This is where he kind of explains even more, blah, 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 blah. This is where both Linta and even Aruka are kind of just shocked to see that Issei's school is more advanced than normal schools. Normal schools of, well, Japan. I mean, they're all advanced, but Issei is more advanced. This is where, well, Issei kind of just explains that pretty much having just the 4 main classes is enough for basically students to kind of be able to go home, do their work, and just go off and have a relaxing time. Basically, he also doesn't really give out homework because homework is just an annoying, bothersome. He'd rather let them do it whenever, but yeah. But this is where, well, pretty much, he just kind of showed the school grades and other things, but not the point. This is where, well, he just says that basically he hopes that the Devil family of, well, the Linta, well, mostly Paraj and also Iruka. This is where Iruka says, I don't really have a Paraj. I'm an heiress, but I don't have a Paraj. Haven't found any members, worthy members. He says, I see. Well, Hope your Parage members doesn't actually, or mostly I'm just talking to Linta. Hope your Parage members does not bother the system of mostly the humans that live here, my Quincy's that live here also. Mostly my Quinters are basic Jesus elite humans, but not the point. Sternritters that have abilities, quite powerful abilities. My elite Sternritters that I don't want to. Well, I don't think even you can even fight against an elite Sternritters. Sternritters are already hard enough for any of your Barrage members to even fight against them. But when it comes to elites, just like you saw against the student council, remember Jukin? Jukin is actually one of my elites. He can easily just stop anything happening. So if any of your Barrage members decide to cause trouble, Jukin will be the first one to come into this battle to freeze both your members or whoever's fighting again too. So don't get mad if mostly he freezes them. He will make sure that he freezes them. Also, mostly the humans that live here, they do know about the supernatural. They just keep it hiding most of the time. But yeah, mostly this whole territory knows about the supernatural. So don't be surprised if like a human decides to just use magic, just to kind of get to work early or something like that. Yeah. This is where, or some kind of ability to get to work or whatever. Don't mind that most of the time. This is where, both Linta and even what's it called, Iruka just sees. So what if they go on the social media and like talk about this? They don't. I mean, they can, but truly, people are not going to believe a small territory that basically they have powers. Not entirely, but yeah. But not the point. This is where, we'll see, they won't not it. It says, other than that, like I did mention, there's my elite Sternritter. There's also one other elite, but he's a little confusing. He's mostly a wild card. So if you do meet him, I suggest to try to walk away from him and do not answer any of his stupid questions, because you might accidentally play a game with him. Huh? They both kind of look at him. Don't worry about that. He will probably be going, if you go against him, he's probably going to win against both of you. I could have easily won against Linta and even you, heiress of the whatever clan that you just said. But I didn't do it because, well, I didn't really want to fight and kill another heiress. You two seem to be, well, reasonable. Unlike the other heirs I had to fight. Arrogant assholes. So annoying. Are all the heirs of the male side are arrogant as shit, or is it just some devil heirs? This is where, both Linta and both of them just look at each other and say, yeah, mostly the males. Even females? There's one. Which one? Grimory. Oh, of course, definitely, fuck's sake. I fought against that bitch a while ago and I kicked the shit out of her. She was so arrogant enough to try to make me a part of her barrage. Bitch got one-shotted by just one of my members, and it was sad, but yeah. But not the point. This is where, mostly both Linta and even, mostly Iruka kind of widen eyes after noticing that Issei really just talks bad about the Grimory, but truly he did fight against her, so truly he can easily kick the shit out of her. But they know that he's also quite powerful, probably could kill them also. So mostly they understood that Ria's Grimory just got, beat the shit out of her, thanks to the fact that mostly Issei just admitted that. They won't say anything to Starzax or any of that, because they don't really care, because Ria is a spoiled little brat half the time. They have met her once, and they rather not meet her again. She's too unpleasant to talk to, really unpleasant. So, of course, they just really didn't want to talk to her ever again. Luckily, they never did. Well, they were thinking of going to the Grimory territory, mostly Kuo, where it's shared by the Sifri and the Grimory. But they know that the Grimory is so iffy. They know about the marriage between mostly the Grimory and Riser. They just don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with Rias' complaint half the time. They already know how the Sifri probably feels. It probably feels like she wants to just kind of end it all, just because how annoying the Grimory is. Probably. They don't know much about the Sifri, but yeah. But they know about they are best friends, like really good friends from childhood. They just don't want to deal with them. Like, truly, no. They'd rather not. This is where Issei says, so, pretty much, yeah. There might be a possible chance that the Grimory, the little freaking red hair bitch, will probably come here to try to fight me, kill me, and try to turn me into her servant. That is probably might be a chance, but truly she won't win because I would just kill her in an instant for trying to. This is where, well, both of them nodded. This is where, Linda kind of just says, I see. Um, well, is there any other rules that we need to know about? Don't attack my people, and don't attack me. Well, I don't know. Just don't attack me at all. Also, don't attack the humans. Don't try to incarnate them. I hate incarnation. Humans just being forced into, well, mostly any barrage. Please talk to them before you try to incarnate them. I have a standard between mostly talking to them like an actual normal person, than actually just forcibly incarnating them or whatever, reincarnating them. It just annoys me. Okay. But don't do this in my charger. It doesn't matter if you even try to ask them. I don't really want them to be reincarnated into a devil. Because they would just be so arrogant. Well, another Sternritter would just kick their shit out of them. Which then making them astray, and then, yeah, you get the point. This is where, well, both of them nodded. This is where, well, we'll see. Linda kind of says, what about my uncle? What if he shows up? Well, if your uncle shows up, I hope you better go to the underworld and deal with him there, because I don't want to deal with your uncle. I know your uncle is, well, what's it called, Ajuka Beelzebub, and I do not want to deal with him. Because if he finds out my technology, he's going to question me than hell. He will question me back to hell and back. Forwards, you get the point. I'm not trying to release my information upon devils. You think I'm gonna freaking give out information to a devil? No. This is where, well, both of them nodded. Knowing that Issei is truly someone different. He's truly more, well, negotiable than any other person, but truly he seems to quite be also greedy in his own territory and other things. He's not too greedy to the point where he just forcibly incarnates anyone to advance human. He will ask them and other things. People can join any way they can ask to join and other things, but they won't get special abilities unless they are actually prepared or worthy to be chosen. But yeah. It's like a luck process, or it's just something more calculated than just luck. This is where Linda kind of nodded. This is where, well, Linda says, got it. She then sighs and says, what kind of uniform do we have to wear? Mostly white. But since you two are double heiresses, I don't actually know what you girls are going to be wearing. Mostly, the outfit that we wear is either white, blue, this, and that. This is where, well, mostly just a symbol for the royalty blue kind of, mostly high school. This is a high school, also public, so if you're gonna notice that guys are being just, yeah, never mind. This is where, well, mostly they say, what do you mean guys are gonna be like? Well, entirely, they're not perverts unlike actual other schools. They're actually proper in the school, but yeah, the girls are the same, so don't just expect mostly the impossible to be possible, whatever. But not the point. Also, don't bother me while I'm doing paperwork. I don't really care on what's happening. My territory, it has been protected by the Sternritters at the same time by the different letter Sternritters and the elites. So yeah. This is where, oh, mostly they nodded. They're confused about the elites. They're confused. They're like, so wait, are like, this is where, well, mostly Issei just sighs and says, okay. So there's normal humans in this, well, high school. There's also Quincy's in this high school. Quincy's are the species that mostly advance to become much more stronger. They're like humans, but they advance. That's why I call them Quincy's. That's what I am. I'm actually the first Quincy ever. But not the point. But of course, the Quincy's can become either normal civilians, stay as normal civilians, or become soldiers. Those soldiers are called Sternritters. The Sternritter letters are actually just Sternritter letters. Well, those Sternritter letters are basically those who have a special letter that gives them a power. Like, say, C for chromostasis. Chromostasis is with Jigen. Jigen is a student, well, mostly the student, president student council member who is actually able to control time. Like, say, about Z. Well, I don't have anyone for Z right now, so I'm still kind of collecting the letters and whoever's going to get them, because, well, I still need to think of what ability will be needed. Let's say, let's say this. I do have letters, mostly myself. I have special letters for myself, but that's not the point. But these letters are supposed to give an ability, a specific ability to someone that looks like they will be the perfect candidate and will be using them. There is also letters that are right now being used for, well, either they got it 6 months ago, 3 months ago, or whatever. They still that they those abilities have not permanently went through them. Unlike my three main, well, mostly main people that actually have the letters and actually have them for 1 year. Yes, you have to have the letter for 1 year or the ability or whatever. But not the point. If you have them for 1 year, then basically it's permanently yours and I can never take it back. But not the point. There is already 3 hosts of those, and that is Candace, the girl that you see behind right now, staring at the witch and human mage. There's also Basil B. Don't mess with him. He's an annoying bastard who's a delinquent at the same time. And also, the last one is Yuki. Yuki is the girl who with kind of icy, kind of white, bluish hair over there, who is right now taking care of the white Nekomaru, who's kind of taking care of her like a motherly Nekomaru would do. Well, entirely like an older sister or whatever, but not the point. Those two have, well, mostly T for Thunderbolt, Candace has. Mostly H for Heat. That's what Basil has, Basil B. And, well, Yuki has mostly, well, S for Sub-Zero. So, they have it permanently. At the same time, they can improve that letter and make it much more powerful since they have it permanently. Others can actually do the same, but they have more potential to do it even if they're just have it for mostly a couple months. Doesn't matter, you can improve it much better, but yeah. But not the point. Oh, also the elites. Just like I mentioned, C is for chromostasis, able to control time and manipulate at the same time. That's what mostly Jiken has. Well, his name is Jiken, what's it called? What's it called? His full name is Jigen Nobachrono. So just don't try to bother him and he won't freeze you in time either permanently or whatever. Or turn you to dust or turn you to a fetus, but not the point because he can do that. Even if you're a devil who lives really long, he can just fucking speed your life form, well, lifespan all the way up to basically an old person. You would die and turn to dust. So I would suggest not to piss him off. There's also a couple other elites. I would suggest to dodge the L, mostly letter L. Also, the letter N would be a good idea to dodge. Letter J would be better. Who else would that be? Also, the letter V shall be a good thing to also dodge. I suggest those 4 or 5 entirely to dodge. Don't really get on the bad side of mostly Chicken, which he doesn't really have a really bad side. It's either you catch him at the wrong time or you annoy him. Pretty much. But he won't be too angry permanently. He's just that type of person. He's quite chill and will not fight you, okay? That's where both of them nodded. He just says, okay, you can also tell this to your Parage because I'm not going to explain it again after your Parage members wake up. You heard that, you human mage? You already heard what I said. So either you get out of my territory or you stop fucking being so angry and actually become actually a normal fucking person to actually talk to. The human mage is right now glaring at Issei, and Issei scoffs and says, okay, this guy's just angry for no fucking reason. This is where, well, the human mage was about to get up and right now attack Issei until the witch right now stopped and said, calm down there. This is where she says his name being, well. This is where she was about to say his name until Issei says, so Sasuke, you want revenge against humanity just because your senpai was hurt? This is where the other person says, that's not my name. Don't care, you act like a revenger half the time, even though she wasn't killed. What about her people? She's clearly a witch, so I know about her people kind of getting massacred by the humans. They went into hiding a while ago. There should be a witch queen, or not witch queen, a witch princess that's actually around here. I actually do not remember where she's exactly is. I think she's in the witches club or something. If you want to go talk to her, you can go talk to her. I don't understand why you really want revenge against humanity. I hate technology, I hate you, and I hate everyone. This is where, well, mostly he says, truly I'm an advanced human, but whatever. You can hate me all you want, besides you're weaker than me anyway. Issei is going to just piss this guy off because this guy has actually been pissing him off also. Been glaring at him non-fucking stop. This is where we'll see the guy says, you wanna die? He says, you can use, how about this? If I beat your ass in a freaking battle without using no magic, no technology, then you shut the fuck up and I will pluck out your eyes to make sure you shut the fuck up. This is where, well, he say, except. This is where, well, mostly the witch, no, wait. This is where, well, we go into a time scope of them battling now. It's a battle between mostly this guy's right now getting angry. He has like some kind of wand and he's ready to fight against Issei. Issei says, okay, I'll be standing here. Go ahead, go wild. He starts an explosion, fireballs and everything. This is where a bunch of like other Sternritters kind of heard this like attacks and other things. This is where Bowser B and even Dobby appears. Like, what the hell is happening? Jigen says, before you do anything, just watch ready. This is where, well, they saw mostly Issei getting attacked so many times. He's all bloody and hurt. This is where so many wounds are around him. Stab wounds. This is where shards of glass and other things. This is where, well, the guy was like, hey, you're dead. I will definitely destroy humanity and other things. This is where every other kind of Sternritter gets angry. But this is where Jigen's right now stops him. And of course, a guy with whitish hair says, all of you stop. Before you do anything, don't move. This is where, well, mostly all of them kind of quiet down. Because two elites are right now kind of watching this. This is where someone from the corner of the shadows is kind of watching this. This is where kind of two people. One guy with kind of purplish, well, mostly blackish eyes with blackish hair and looks to be kind of bulky. He looks to be a 30er. He doesn't seem to like be wearing the clothing too much. Or like the white clothing, whatever. This is where, well, he likes kind of wearing black clothing, but not the point. This is where another person's there kind of watching this. He kind of has greenish hair, kind of blackish eyes, and is smoking a cigar. Both of them are smoking a cigar, but who cares? This is where, well, they're watching this, and this is where one of them just chuckles and says, that guy fucked up so bad. Never take a battle between the strongest, and I mean the strongest Quincy out of all of us. This is where the other guy says, yep, that guy's an idiot. This is where, well, he's kind of laughing like an insane person. This is where, well, the witch kind of says, this is where, well, Junko is laughing a little bit, kind of giggling. She's trying to stop herself from giggling. Candace is the same. The witch says, what are you... This is where, well, they turn around and just point towards mostly Issei and mostly the other guy. And this is where, well, the guy says, now, I'll be able to defeat anyone. This is where, well, the person hears a chuckling and evil laughter. And this is where, well, he looks towards Issei's place to see Issei right now kind of smiling and with such a vicious grin. You are a fool, you know that? Quite a fool. Antithesis, Issei said. This is where before the guy can even understand what antithesis is, he right now is all bloody and hurt. He basically took all those wounds that Issei had on his body, the burn skin and the other shit, is now on him. It's kind of like reflective, but it's pretty much switch pain. Or switch the wounds and other things, basically. Yeah, that's what antithesis can do. So, of course, well, mostly he is right now hurt even more. He falls down and passes out. He says, it's idiot. Don't ever try to think that you are actually better than me. You are no other way better than me at all. This is where everyone is just shocked to see, and actually something they haven't really seen that much. Antithesis is in letter A, and of course they really think that that's Issei's biggest trump card. Of course, the other abilities that he has are literally broken. Some people were literally thinking that Issei was going to use M for miracle, because, well, he has something called miracle, and of course, some people have tried to fight against Issei, and they got their ass kicked so fast with the letter M called miracle. But yeah, but of course, this is where, well, they were confused in what Issei just did. There were so many people confused. This is where, well, Issei kind of just walks up to the guy. The guy is kind of hurt and really bad, and this is where Issei says, so, have you realized one thing? Your magic is weak. Well, I'm not trying to be rude, but truly, your idiotic goals are stupid as hell. You will be stopped in an instant, not just by humanity itself, but from other supernatural beings. Like devils, angels, fallen angels, but especially the angels. They will actually stop you in an instant. And not just that. If you try to kill as many humans as possible by using magic and other things, humanity does have the power of, I don't know, modern technology to kick the shit of you. Magic can easily be canceled out. You see here, I have a power that can literally nullify your magic, making you back into a normal human. And I'm gonna wonder how the hell you're gonna be able to grab that magic back when you literally have no magic when I nullify it. This are the guys that you wouldn't. He just says, I would, because you're actually starting to piss me off. The idea of your revenge just because your senpai got hurt. You won't even target the problem. You will target everyone else just because you're so angry at the world entirely. You're basically an emo brat. Besides, you remind me so much of Sasuke from fucking Naruto. Just because you're so angry at the village and not angry at the Pacific people pisses me off. You know that? It really does piss me off. So, either you shut up about your revenge, because clearly you won't actually target the Pacific people that are the cause of your problem and anger, or I remove your magic entirely and you can go figure out how to fucking, target your problem and anger and cause and die after in the meanwhile. This is where, he glares at Issei, but this is where, he sighs and just says, fine, I'll stay quiet. Good. Now stop glaring at me because that pisses me off. I would have taken out your eyes, by the way, but I decided to be nice and not gouge out your fucking eyes. Now, if you don't mind me, Issei gets up and says, okay, well, I'll be back to class already. This is where everyone nodded. Some people are going back to class. Some people are just going home because it's already been 4 hours and their main classes are done. But yeah, Issei says, that's pointless. So pointless, exactly. This is where someone rushes up to Issei just to see that mostly he still had wounds on him because mostly antithesis. He could have sent all the attacks straight towards Issei to hurt him so much. Straight up just switch all the techniques, mostly switch all the kind of wounds and other things towards mostly the guy. But of course, they want to actually kill him with his own techniques because the guy would have died with his own spells, his own wounds inflicted upon him, mostly thanks to Issei's ability. This is where, he didn't want to do that, didn't want to just kill the motherfucker, but yeah. But of course, with that happening, we go into mostly someone rushing up towards mostly past him, being the witch and kind of running up to the guy, and this is where Issei kind of just scoffs. His mostly clothing, they're kind of repair after a while, but this is where, mostly before he can even move fast enough towards mostly Asia. This is where someone kind of rushes up towards Issei and right now kind of appear right in front of him. This is where, she has a witch hat on top of her head and seems to be none other than the witch princess. This is where Issei switches up and says, what are you doing here? What was her name again? So this is how she looks like, the princess of the witches, but yeah. This is where, she said, so, are you okay there, Issei-kun? This is where, she kind of questioned at Issei. Issei says, what do you want? What's it called? What's her name again? This is where, she does say, my name is Maho. Pleasure to meet you again there, Issei-kun. This is where she's kind of a little bit flustered and blushing. This is where she then decides to use her kind of spells, her magic, to kind of appear a grimoire right next to her. And this is where, she says, please hold still. I'm so sorry for mostly a human mage that have learned from a witch about hurting you. This is where Issei says, it's fine, I'm healing slowly later. This is where she says, no, this is where, she blushes a little bit because she's healing him, but yeah. This is where Audrey actually appears and starts healing Issei also. Issei swears up and just says, fuck it, whatever. This is where, mostly, we go into a time skip later, and of course, this is where, the Princess of Witches kind of just apologizes for Issei, and of course, tries to, make him an offer that mostly not to kill the human mage from mostly, the witch's kind of guard and other things, because, surely he didn't really mean that at all. This is where, she was hoping. Issei swears up and says, what's the offer? A marriage contract with me? I don't really have anything else. I'm not really experienced in. That's where, the kind of witch that was actually taken there, Princess, you can't. Issei right now stops both of them and says, before you actually offer yourself, I really don't mind this. The guy was just pissing me off. I had to take him down a peg or two. Other than that, it was pretty much my conflict that I kind of involve myself into. Pretty much, I could have dodged. I could have done anything. I could have also made a clone and just made him just hit the clone. But I instead decided to take all the damage just because I wanted to show that we are two different beings. I'm an advanced human called the Quincy's, while he's just a human that's right now having nothing but revenge and anger. He doesn't want to accept the fact that another human, helped him out instead of being saved by another witch. So, of course, this revenge is so petty and annoying. Of course, that's why I had to take him a peg or two. But other than that, I really do not care about this marriage. Don't get me wrong, you are beautiful, princess of witches named Maho. This is where Maho blushes, but of course he says, but I do not want to force you into a marriage that you would not like at all. This is where, well, mostly Maho kind of blushes even more, kind of deeply red. Issei has his eyes closed, and of course he hasn't really noticed her blush. And this is where, well, Issei says, other than that, if you do not mind, I really am not going to accept a marriage at all, because there's nothing here to be offended by. Other than that, you can go, Queen Witches. I mean, not Queen Witches, Princess Witches. Then again, you might become the queen later on, but sorry about that. That's where, well, she kind of shook her head, like, no, it's fine, it's fine. She kind of walks away, but yeah, she's all flustered and blushing. This is where other kind of, like, different females are kind of jealous a little bit of the fact that the Princess of Witches tried to, well, offer herself off to Issei, but Issei kind of refused. This is where, well, other girls kind of think that they have a chance. But yeah, little do they know that Issei will still reject them no matter what. This is where, well, mostly some devil heiresses, mostly specifically one of devil heiresses, was a little bit jealous because she kind of took an interest on Issei because Issei's more mature than any other guy. He's not filled of emotions by horniness, but just being a normal person. This is where, well, she kind of blushes and gets angry a little bit. She probably would try to kind of get him into a marriage situation, but she doesn't know if she could. But of course, we kind of go from that POV towards Issei, and of course, we go into a time skip about 3 weeks later. This is where, well, 3 weeks later, the kind of royal blue high was actually attacked by none other than a red-haired girl who was actually known as Rias Grummery. Rias Grummery was right now in the school attacking, well, civilians because she was fierce and angry that this is where Issei was at. This is where, well, Issei wanted to appear, but this is where who actually confronted Rias was none other than Linta Asafoth. This is where, well, she kind of questioned, well, Rias about what is she doing here. This is where, well, Rias kind of glares at the other heiress and says, what are you doing here? What the hell is this? This is where Linta says, this is my territory. Why do you keep attacking it? This is where, well, mostly Rias says, if this is your territory, then why are those humans not really afraid of me when I send my ball of destruction? Because it's kind of pathetic. This is where Linta kind of really tell Rias. Rias glares at her, and this is where, well, she sent a ball of destruction straight towards Linta. Linta blocks it with her own magic circle and says, see, pathetic. Pretty much, she made a kind of greenish blue box around it and just destroy it. This is where, well, Rias was so angry and fierce and says, you bitch, you really think you can just... I know Issei is here. Tell me where that fucking brown-haired kid is at so I can fucking kill him. Well, not brown hair, mostly whitish hair. But yeah, because Issei's just hair to change. It's like white and black. But this is where, well, Linta says, I do not know where to talk about. Rhea says, you do. You definitely do. This is where, well, Linta says, no, I don't. Because a bitch like you does not understand anything. Now go away. Leave us, well, mostly leave me alone from this territory because you're attacking another heiress. This could confront into basically a small war between, well, my uncle and your brother. This is where, well, Rias grits her teeth, and this is where she doesn't care. She sends more balls of destruction. This is where, well, her Parage members have been trying to look for, well, mostly Issei, but this is where, well, Akano and Kiba are looking around. They see Kaneko and mostly Yuki before Akano can do anything. Like, she was about to use lightning even in Kiba. Kiba was right now intercepted by someone by stopping. His sword clashes with mostly, how should I say, Yuki. And of course, someone kind of just shot down, well, mostly not shot down, mostly stopped Akano from even trying to attack Yuki neither, but Koneko. Koneko was actually scared. She had her Nekomaru features out, but this is where, well, the person who just interfered with, well, Kiba was a guy with mostly. So the person who just interfered with Kiba before trying to slash at Yuki was a guy with a card. Literally a fucking card just blocks Kiba's sword. This is where Kiba winds his eyes and says, "What the? Howdy?" This is where the person just smiles and says, "You don't need to know about that, brat." This is where he slashes the card into Kiba like did an X, and this is where Kiba falls down to the ground. He got knocked out. He basically got slashed. This is where, Akano tries to use thunder at most of the person. The person says, "So sorry, sweet girl," or mostly sweet cheeks, but that is not going to affect me at all. This is where he uses a card right in front of him to toss it up, but before anything happens, green lightning smashes into Akano right now, knocking her out. Candace appears saying, "What are you doing here, Joker?" This is where Joker chuckles and says, "I was going to handle all this. Well, whatever. Other than that, I'll be going." This is where, Candace scoffs and says, "Damn it, that fucking annoying bastard." Whatever. "Are you two okay?" Yuki nodded, and this is where Konako nodded. She's become more relaxed with her Nekomaru features being out and just happy with mostly Yuki a lot. And even Dabi. Dabi has actually shown that he has also Nekomaru features, and he is half Nekomaru. But yeah. This is where, mostly Kaneko has been really happy, but this is where we go into, Rias right now keep attacking Linta. Linta right now blocks it, but of course, where, someone actually appears and says, "What the fuck is happening out here?" I was literally in the bathroom for a while. This is where, mostly thanks to, someone bringing him talk about, but not the point. But this is where, mostly Issei glares at Rias, and Rias says, "You! I'm going to kill you. I'm going to turn you into my fucking barrage, and I'm going to punish you." This is where Rias has a crazy look in her eyes until Issei appears right in front of her with a sword and slashing her down. This is where, she coughed up blood and fell down to the ground. This is where, Linta kind of just, knows that something else was going to happen because she kind of got caught by mostly her other friend, Eris, kind of telling her that Sona and her Parage is appearing. But her Parage is being taken out by the Sternritters pretty easily, but she's actually managed to escape the Sternritters. She might be over there to make some random bullcrap. Make sure to call her uncle. This is where, mostly Linta nodded, and this is where Linta already called her uncle. And already told her about the situation, what's happening. This is where, she did explain a little fast, but yeah, of course, Ajuka understood and decided to appear. But before that, this is where Sona appears with her sister, Serapha, what's it called? Serapha? Serapha, Leviathan, with mostly, calling, mostly, how should I say, mostly calling, how should I say, Surzex. Surzex was also calling. This is where they were confused because Sona actually managed to summon both of them, and this is where they were impressed with her. But of course, they noticed, Issei having the sword on mostly Rias, like he was about to kill her. Until this is where, Surzex says, "I cannot let you do that." This is where he was about to send a ball of destruction towards mostly Issei. Until this is where green magic ball, mostly square around it, right now stopped it. This is where, mostly stopping, mostly the destruction ball from actually destroying Issei. This is where Ajuka says, "Calm down there. Can you please move out of the way there, Issei-kun?" Issei kind of sweat drops at mostly seeing Ajuka. This is where Ajuka noticed Surzex, and Surzex was pissed and say, "What are you doing, Ajuka?" Ajuka sweat drops and says, "Sorry, I cannot let you do something like that." Towards mostly my, how should I say, brother-in-law, or how should I say, my nephew-in-law? That doesn't matter. Yes, Issei and Ajuka has already met each other. And of course, mostly, Ajuka was impressed with mostly Issei's technology. He's not going to really bother asking so many questions about, like, sharing the information or any of that. He's just kind of questioning it for his own reasons and benefits. But yeah, of course, Issei kind of got interested with the evil pieces and kind of noticed that they weren't too bad, but the interest of power and blah, blah, blah. Of course, he doesn't like how they can be forcibly reincarnating people, even if they don't want to be reincarnated, but yeah. This is where, Ajuka says, yeah, that's a flaw and other things, but yeah, they became kind of good friends, but yeah. This is where, mostly Ajuka has always teased about Linta and Issei for being mostly boyfriend and girlfriend, but yeah, or even wife or husband, because they do sometimes fight. Mostly Linta does act tsundere, while mostly Issei just ignores her entirely. Just tries to, but yeah. But of course, Ajuka comes out of nowhere and just teases the hell out of them, but yeah. This is where, mostly, Surzex, what are you talking about? This is where Ajuka sighs and says, "You're my friend, and I really care about you, Surzex, but I can't let you just kill him. He's a good person, and mostly what I can understand This is what happened. This is where, well, we'll see, he pulls out a videotape thanks to magic, thanks to the fact Linda was actually recording all of this. And this is where, thanks to the fact Reyes keeps attacking, this is where, well, mostly Reyes was the one to actually attack the school, and of course the Sternritter was the one to actually defeat mostly some of the Parage members. Even Linta's Parage members taking out mostly some of, well, Sona's Parage members. This where, well, right now, Surge sees this and says, I see. So pretty much, Linta was actually protected by Issei there. Not gonna lie, he's quite strong. I think he would have actually noticed that I was actually going to attack him. That thing you would have actually not even hit me at all. What do you mean not hit you? This is where, well, someone appears behind mostly Issei's darkness, like literally kind of appear. Thanks to the fact that this person had whitish hair and kind of blindfold. You would have never been able to hit him. I actually kind of told mostly Issei-san that I will be always with him in his shadows and darkness. I'm, well, not really. No. Pretty much he says, you would not even be able to hit me. I saw the attack coming. I was about to slash at it, but Juka appears, so of course I decided to stop myself. How would you know that he was coming? Oh, that's a secret for me to have, and a secret that you should never know, because I'm not trying to tell a red hair, because you would tell your sister, because you're a siscon, and yeah, it's annoying. This is where, well, mostly Cersei says, fair point. This is where Serafal says, what about Sona's Parage? Sona's with Reyes half the time, and Reyes decides to somehow convince Sona to do some bullcrap. So, of course, I don't trust you neither. This is where, well, the only person here I trust is Juka. But other than that, yeah. This is where Juka says, hey, it's a plus side. Besides, he really does not like devils too much. He likes me, mostly Linta, and also, well, Iruka. But yeah, or not Iruka, mostly Rukia. This is where, well, Rukia kind of appears and says, yo, this is where, well, mostly they nodded, realizing that mostly this school is actually quite damaged thanks to Reyes and Sona, and of course they decide to, well, look at them with their eyes. Both Sursex and even Serafal have a very stern look. Sona widened her eyes and realized that basically this went into a backfire entirely. She wasn't expecting Linta to be here, or even a Juka, or even what's it called, Irukia. But yeah, that's where, well, she realized he fucked up. But yeah, we go into a time skip for dark punishments, but yeah. And of course, yes, the rites of marriage would still kind of happen, but mostly the punishments were actually going to go further on for the marriage and other things. This is where, well, Sona lost her privilege to not be able to fight against people in a chess piece game, because truly she just helped a person cause damage to another territory, and that territory is mostly advanced with a bunch of advanced humans. So entirely, right now, Cersei had to pay out of his pockets, which are large, but they still had to pay for damage and costs. It didn't really hurt any of the humans that were there. They weren't considered advanced humans, but still they were protected by the Sternritters. This is where, well, and all the Sternritters right now appear, like every single one of them. They weren't lazy or any of that. They were all prepared to take out mostly devils. This is where, well, Bowser B was actually taking out some of, like, Sona's Parage members. Like, sending a heat wave straight towards, what's it called, like a heat finger from, or mostly called blazing finger from mostly his finger. Sending it and hitting it into mostly, what's it called, Sanji's leg before Dobby appearing, burning him entirely. But yeah. But of course, that was happening. So of course, where, well, Cersei was kind of glad that no one actually got hurt thanks to his little sister's stupid rant. But yeah, of course, he knows that Reyes is quite desperate to get out of the marriage, and she doesn't, well, not she, he doesn't really know what to do with her that much. But yeah, she could have trained, but no, that didn't happen. He also noticed Koniko and would have questioned for mostly Koniko to go back towards Reyes' Parage, but Issei refuses that, and Ajuka also did the same. Refuse. Which Sardex was gritting his teeth, but decided to sigh and decide to walk away from that. Because clearly his sister is truly in the wrong here, but yeah. Other than that, we go into mostly Issei kind of fixing his kind of like school. This is where, well, school was actually canceled for a couple of days thanks to the fact that it's kind of being rebuilt by hand, because, well, he doesn't really have magic. Of course, he just wanted to kind of help his people with money and other things, so of course that's why he's kind of making it with hand. This is where, well, Ijuka said that it could have been much easier done with magic, but Issei said, still, I don't trust magic too much. This is where, well, we'll see Ijuka and Tanada and decides to just, well, talk to mostly Issei while just kind of wondering how would he knew about mostly him actually appearing faster than him. Issei says, Luna, I heard you guys talking. Linton says, I was so quiet, how the hell did you hear me? This is where mostly Issei says, I could hear you. You're always so loud half the time anyway. You're always screaming in my ear, so I could hear your voice. This is where, Linton says, screw you. This is where both of them are just arguing. But this is where, Juka right now takes out a photo. Mostly takes out a camera and takes a picture at both of them. Both of them blush and looks away. This is where they glare at Ajuka, and Ajuka says, well, other than that, also Linta, I'm going to leave someone here with you and mostly Iruka. Well, not Iruka. Mostly Irukia. And that's basically another kind of, well, she's actually a true descendant of the Levante clan. So I'm just going to leave her here with you. Is that okay, Issei? This right, Issei says, yeah, that'll be fine. She isn't arrogant like the... No, she's half human. Half human, half devil. I see. Fine, that'll be okay. This is where Linta say, yeah, that'll be okay. This is where Juka kind of whispers into Linta's ear saying, I mean, she might be trying to also take Issei away from you. Are you going to let that happen? Also, don't try to hurt her, okay? This is where, Linta's face becomes red and says, shut up already, go away. This is where, right now making, how should I say, making with the call. And Juka chuckles and just says, fine. Other than that, bye, you two little birds. This is where, both of them blush and says, we're not little birds. Damn that bastard. This is where both of them say at the same time, stop copying me. This is where both of them kind of yell at each other and glare at each other, but yeah. But for right now, I'm going to end it off here for what if Issei was a vessel to the elite Sternritters. Other than that, bye soon, yeah.